The Village of Embers. Morning sunlight filtered through towering silver trees. After 2 days of walking, the dense forest finally opened. Beyond it lay the first human settlement Arjun had seen since arriving in this strange world. It wasn't a city. It wasn't even a town. Yet, it looked more beautiful than anything he remembered from Earth. Stone houses climbed gentle hills. Water wheels turned without anyone touching them. Children laughed while racing along rooftops. Farmers carried logs that should have required cranes. Arjun stopped walking. Either everyone here is incredibly fit, or I'm hallucinating, the sage chuckled. The fish believes every river ends at its own shore. Arjun sighed. There you go again. Before he could ask what that meant, a little girl, no older than 8, jumped from a roof. She landed 20 feet below without a scratch. Arjun nearly screamed. The girl simply dusted off her clothes and continued chasing her friends. What? The sage smiled. Impossible? Arjun stared. Yes. The sky once thought birds were impossible. A crowd gathered around a stone platform. An old elder stood beside a crystal sphere. One by one, villagers placed a hand on it. Each time, the crystal glowed with a different color. The crowd applauded. A boy stepped forward. The crystal blazed bright orange. Flame rank! Cheers erupted. Another child. Blue. Radiant! The villagers celebrated even louder. Arjun leaned toward a nearby merchant. What's happening? The annual Kundalini assessment. Kundalini? The merchant laughed. You really are from far away. The sage quietly watched, not answering. Rule 6. Sometimes silence was the lesson. The elder noticed Arjun. You've never been tested. The entire square turned, hundreds of eyes fixed on him. Arjun swallowed. I suppose not. The villagers smiled encouragingly. He placed his hand on the crystal. Nothing. 5 seconds. Nothing. 10 seconds. Still nothing. The crystal remained completely dull. Whispers spread through the crowd. Ash? No. Even ash glows. The elder frowned. I have never seen this before. Silence. Then someone laughed. Another joined. Soon the square echoed with quiet amusement. Arjun slowly removed his hand. His face burned. Trumpets sounded. The villagers immediately knelt. A procession entered the square. At its center rode a young woman wearing silver and deep blue robes. She couldn't have been older than 20, elegant, confident, yet her eyes carried quiet kindness rather than arrogance. Princess Mira. The crowd bowed lower. Even the elder stepped aside. She noticed Arjun immediately. The traveler? The elder nodded. He registered. Nothing. Curiosity crossed her face. Nothing? She walked toward him herself. May I? Arjun nodded awkwardly. She placed her own hand beside his on the crystal. Instantly, the entire square exploded with golden light. The crystal hummed. The air itself vibrated. Children shielded their eyes. The elder smiled proudly. Radiant. As expected. The princess removed her hand. The glow vanished. Arjun's side remained dark. She looked at him, not with disgust, with confusion. I've never seen silence before. Those words hurt more than mockery. Later that evening, Arjun wandered alone. The laughter from the square echoed in his mind. The sage walked beside him, silent. Eventually, Arjun muttered, I don't belong here. The sage looked toward a field. A single seed rested on dry soil. Does that seed belong to the forest? It isn't a forest. Yet. Arjun rolled his eyes. You answer everything like that. The sage laughed. The world speaks in stories. It simply waits for listeners. A weathered old bookseller called out, Traveler, you look like someone searching. I don't even know what I'm searching for. Then perhaps this is. He revealed an ancient page. Only a fragment remained. Most of it had burned away. Across the top, one sentence survived. The first breath of the eternal flute. Arjun froze. His heart raced. The eternal flute? You've heard the name? The old man shook his head. No. But everyone knows the legend? He pointed toward distant mountains. They say somewhere beyond those peaks rests the manuscript, the only book ever written by the first bearer. They say it teaches how to awaken the eternal flute. The sage's smile disappeared. For the first time, he looked serious, very serious. Night fell, unable to sleep. Arjun wandered beyond the village. A low growl echoed through the valley. From the darkness emerged a creature larger than an elephant. Crystal horns, moon-white fur, eyes like liquid sapphire. The guardian. It stopped, sniffed the air, walked directly toward Arjun. His legs froze. This is how I die. The guardian stopped only a few feet away. Its enormous eyes looked through him. It turned toward the sage instead, almost curiously, as though asking, "Where is the one you brought?" The sage smiled. He pointed directly at Arjun. The guardian looked again. Nothing. It lowered its head in confusion, then calmly walked away. Arjun collapsed onto the ground. It couldn't see me? The sage sat beside him. Invisible things still cast shadows. He looked toward the stars. You have yet to become visible. Arjun stared at his own trembling hands. For the first time, being unnoticed felt worse than being attacked. As dawn approached, Arjun looked toward the distant mountains. The manuscript. If it explains the eternal flute, then that's where I'm going. The sage smiled. The river has finally asked where it begins. The thought rose high above the valley, far beyond the mountains, inside a forgotten temple. An ancient stone manuscript slowly emitted a faint blue glow, as if it had heard Arjun's decision. The blue glow inside the forgotten temple vanished. The ancient manuscript had awakened. Not because someone touched it, because somewhere, someone had finally decided to seek it. The first rays of dawn painted the village gold. Arjun had barely slept. His humiliation from yesterday replayed over and over, children whispering, adults staring, the princess saying, "I've never seen silence before." He clenched his fists. "I'll find that manuscript. I don't care how far." The sage looked toward the sunrise. The tallest tree began as the smallest decision. Before leaving, Arjun decided to train. If Kundalini can be awakened, I'll awaken it. He copied everything he had seen. Meditation, breathing, running, jumping. Nothing. A little boy watched him. "Mister, what are you doing?" "Training." The boy tilted his head. "For what?" "So I can awaken my Kundalini." The child blinked. "My grandfather says you can't awaken it." "It awakens you." Arjun frowned. "What does that even mean?" The boy shrugged. "I don't know. My grandfather just says weird things." The sage smiled quietly. As Arjun prepared to leave, horse hooves approached. Princess Mira dismounted. "You plan to leave?" "Yes." "Where?" "The mountains." Silence. Several guards exchanged nervous looks. "The Forbidden Peaks?" Arjun nodded. "I need to find something." "The manuscript." Every guard froze. One whispered, "He knows about it." The princess studied him. "You should forget that story. It's only a myth." "If everyone believes it's a myth, why do your soldiers look afraid?" Nobody answered. The princess smiled faintly. "You notice more than you appear to." She mounted her horse. "Be careful. Many have searched. None returned." After the royal party departed, an elderly blacksmith approached. His arms were thicker than tree trunks. His eyes never left the flute. "You shouldn't carry that openly." Arjun instinctively held it tighter. "You can see it?" The old man laughed. "Of course. It's only an old flute." He leaned closer. "But I've never seen one that old." He paused. "My grandfather once told me there was only one flute nobody could play." Arjun's heart pounded. "What happened to it?" The blacksmith shook his head. "He never finished the story?" "He died before he could." The sage said nothing. For once, even he seemed interested. Arjun left the village. No fanfare, no celebration. Nobody believed he'd return. Only one person watched from the palace balcony. Princess Mira. Something about the strange boy bothered her. Not because he was weak, because the guardian had ignored him. That had never happened before. The deeper Arjun walked, the quieter the forest became. No birds, no insects, only wind. Then, footsteps. Behind him. He turned. Nothing. Again. Crunch, crunch, crunch. His breathing quickened. "Sage, is someone following us?" The sage listened. "No. The forest is deciding." "Deciding what?" "If it wishes to remember you." Hours later, Arjun reached a broken stone bridge spanning a bottomless canyon. Half of it had collapsed centuries ago. "There has to be another way." The sage looked across. "The bridge is complete." Arjun stared. "Are you blind?" "It ends halfway." "The bridge ends. The path doesn't." Arjun sighed. "There you go again." He searched for another route. There wasn't one. As the sun began to set, he reluctantly stepped onto the broken bridge. At the final stone, he stopped. Nothing ahead, only empty air. "I can't fly." The sage asked softly, "Who asked you to?" Suddenly, a faint shimmer appeared, then another. Invisible stone steps slowly emerged from the mist, one after another. They had always been there, hidden until sunset. Arjun's jaw dropped. He slowly crossed. Halfway across, he looked back. The invisible path disappeared again. He whispered, "It wasn't broken." The sage smiled. "The world enjoys hiding its doors." Final scene. Far away, inside the ancient temple, dust fell from the ceiling. The manuscript opened by itself. The first page turned. A single line glowed with blue light. "If these pages have found you, then the flute has accepted your soul." The second page remained sealed, as if waiting for Arjun to earn the right to read it.